okay, this is what Neil deGrasse Tyson said. He
May
said in one
I
of his
do a
lectures,
quick recap? May I do a quick recap real quick? Just to
yeah,
recap for anyone first joining this video after this live stream's over. Thank you for joining. Throw that like, all that good shit in life. We're talking about space travel. We're playing No Man's Skies here. And I'm on my pause menu, so don't mind the fact that you're not getting no stimulation on your eyeballs. But we're talking about the possibility of travel through space in a fast manner. And what we have covered so far is that it would take some type of unity upon this earth in order to create such a spectacular technology that would allow us to do that. And that's basically the recap. And some shit about Hitler. And whorehouses. You missed the whorehouses.
okay, so that's what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so let's say that extraterrestrials came to Earth and they said, look, habitable planet for everybody. NASA tested it and they confirmed that yes, this is a habitable planet. Yet there is no thing about it. Everybody can breathe the same air. Everybody can, be free. Everybody can do everything. The catch is that in order to have this life, you have to leave Earth. Now, my question to you guys is, would you leave the cave?
No.
You want to leave the cave?
No.
You want to leave Earth?
The reason why I wouldn't leave the cave is because the Pilgrims came to the Indians and said, hey, that land over there is a lot better than this land. I think you should go over there. Here's some rifles. Here's some toys. This will make your life better. Alright. And then what happened to the Indians? They got sent to the corner of a piece of land and sent to Canada. You know what I mean?
So yeah, I understand that reasoning. But like the thing about it is that's the thing. We send, like, I mean, what happened?
Woo!
Like, I mean, what happened?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh shit! My voice is not playing. I gotta fix that. Oh! Yo, D-Ville. You gotta go to party settings and allow your voice to be shared. Yo, D-Ville. we over here pausing and agreeing and shit. I'm watching it on my phone real quick. I'll tell you. My bad for cutting y'all off.
What are we gonna name this system? What are we gonna name this planet? We find aliens on the planet. What are we gonna name? What are we gonna name the creatures on this planet? You know, and that's the thing. We inspire thought through creativity. You know, and that's what we need to do. That's what we need to start doing. That's what we need to start focusing on in our school system. You need to start inspiring thought and not just teaching to the test, because that's what that's what makes us stupid. That's what makes us forget things, you know.
I was about to say, my sister a teacher. The school is so far away from what you're talking about right now.
Yeah. You gotta understand.
It's all just a system. They teach the test. They just do tests.
We got fucked people on this earth right now, And these fucking
Yeah.
people, because of the internet, these like, I'm sorry to say this, but this is how I truly believe, and if this ever comes around and backstabs me, then fuck it. I think there's a high percentage of simpletons that are part of our planet. And now the problem is that simpletons are the most stubborn people in the world. They believe what they believe no matter what they believe. You get what I'm saying? Whether they believe shit can cure a disease, they will put fecal matter all over their body and say, yes, it's curing me. You know what I mean? There's simpletons out there. You get what I'm saying? And what happens is that these simpletons, they hear somebody say, oh, this shouldn't be allowed and that shouldn't be allowed. And then they rally up with a bunch of other simpletons that all follow the same bandwagon because they need a fucking leader in their life, a king or something. And then they start disbanding this shit. They're like, you can't teach the fucking evolutional theory in school because it's sacrilegious. You can't teach religion in school because it's sac science. You get what I'm saying? So if you want progress, we need to all come up with that revelation in the Bible, that new world order, that new religion, that new understanding that everyone can accept to agree one thing. And then once we agree that one thing, then we can all achieve one goal. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but like there's a thing. Okay, look, check this out. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian.
Okay.
And the thing about it is, you can't tell me that God made all these planets, all these stars, everything else. Like he said, these in the Bible, he said this is the jewel of my eye. Like this is something that you worship me for, you know. And he said that in a book. He said that in. And the thing about this, I got to pause my game for a minute because I'm about to preach up in this bitch. And, like, check this out.
Game
so
over.
He said that I like he put stars in the sky like jewels to the eye, and like when you look up, you see the wonder and majesty of you see the wonder and majesty of his creation and everything else, you know. And when people say, oh, you can't go there, I'm like, why? Bro, because God said you can't do it, and it's not meant to be because it's in God's will. I'm like, no, shut up, don't talk to me about that. You know why? Because why would God put something there that I can't see and I can't worship him for? I'm not just gonna worship him because the stars are in the sky.
Let me throw something out there. Let me throw something random out there, whether it makes sense or not. I like testing people's faith. You get what I'm saying? I like testing people's faith. It's just a little sinful thing I like to do. Okay? And let me throw this theory out. All right, God made the earth, and God made the earth perfect, right? God made everything perfect because He's perfect, right? Who are we to take His perfect objects and throw them out into space?
What do you mean? Like what
We'll
do you
take
mean? In what way?
we'll take His earth.
Like people.
And we'll mold his earth into a rocket. Then we'll take his life forms and we'll burn his life forms for fuel and leave this planet that he made for us to live on. What kind of sense does that make? I told you.
I get you.
I told you.
That's some deep stuff right there, man.
Like, if you want to talk about space and science, you have to have faith in science. If you want to have faith in God, you can have faith in God. If you want to have faith in science and God, you sound like a Scientologist, which just sounds retarded. You know what I mean? No offense.
No. But that's the thing. Like you can't like they're the ultra smart, ultra power, like not powerful, but ultra smart scientists. They took a poll, and 80% said that they don't believe in a higher power. What about the 20% that do? Like these are people that have proven different things about creation and everything, you know. And let me spit something else at you.
Go ahead.
Something else at you real quick. So Who's to say that? Let me calm down because I'm being loud.
Mom.
Who's to say that God? Who's to say that in the Bible? That when it says in one day He created the stars. Who's to say that? Who's to say that in one day He created? He said, "Let there be light." Day one, right? What? Why is that one day?
It's not one day. If you read the Bible, if you read the Bible, you understand that one day to God is a million days to a human, and a million days to a human is one day to God, and all that fucking bullshit. The basic, the idea of this entity. Yes. So if you take science, right? If you take science and compare it with the literature of God and decipher the old knowledge ways to new technological ideas and shit, you know what I mean? We can put a name on a God day to call it a G day. God made it in one G day. And what is a G day but a measurement of what God perceives as a day? Because of the fact that a day is only perceived as a rotation of the earth. It's not really 24 hours. You get what I'm saying? It's a rotation of the earth. That is a day. Exactly. A year is a rotation around the sun. That is a year. You know what I mean? A decade is 10 rotations around the sun, and so on and so on. So our measurements are for us, and his measurement would be different. So if we want to put God into science, first thing is first, we'd have to learn God's measurements. Until we learn God's measurements, we cannot put God into science. You know what I mean? And that's just the first step. Now we want to talk about God in science. Let's take God's anatomy. We have no idea what anatomy he might be, whether he be energy-based, spiritual-based, because we still don't understand spiritual, but I believe spiritual and energy are the same. You know what I mean? I believe the only reason why we can play Xbox is because we're burning life. We're killing things. We're killing something in order to provide the energy that we need in order to fucking play these games that utilize energy and permit whatever the fuck. I don't even know how to explain it because it's so deep. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. I understand what you're saying. You gotta do, like, in order to do something, you gotta sacrifice something else.
In order to create, you must destroy. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In order to create, we must destroy. But anyways, getting back on the topic, in order for us to scientifically apply God into the idea of science, we'd have to understand measurement. We'd have to understand analogy. I already forgot the word.
Anatomy.
We'd have to understand the anatomy of him. We'd have to understand his measurements, and we also have to understand what kind of physical laws that he has that are bound to him. You get what I'm saying? Because if you take the God that everyone believes in and take it off their word, he has no physical law, he has no measurement, he has no anatomy, he has nothing, but yet he's everything. So he's an oxymoron. You get what I'm saying?
So, dude, I think I have just an epiphany. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how dark matter. You know what dark matter is? Like, it's the thing we know is there, but we know nothing of it. You know?
Like, because dark matter goes back to the original conversation where it's do you believe in global warming? You know what I mean? That idea is, do you believe in dark matter? Because dark matter is an idea and a name and whatever. It's a stamp on something that they don't know it's there, and they wish to discover it to be there, but they have to name it something in order to communicate with people. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why the modern population knows about it is because of documentaries that try to make money by selling bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing about it is, you have people like Bill Nye, Neil deGrasse, Stephen Hawking, these different types of scientists that have the world's interests, the human beings' interests.
How many of those were Christians? just a random question.
No. None of them are Christians. The people I named aren't Christians. They don't believe in God. But the thing about it is, I believe that I'm part of the 20%. I'm not like super duper smart, but I believe that I'm like 20% of that believes in God and science at the same time. I believe that you can't have science without God. You know what I'm saying? You can't have science without God.
I think that is a true statement, but I think the only reason why you can't have science without God is because God inspired science.
Exactly.
And the only reason why I say that is because the mystery of God. Because okay, I've delved deep in my personal research, whatever, in the past. You know what I mean? I haven't done it recently, but I've dove deep. And I came to the understanding that there's different forms of God depending on who thinks that they're worshiping God or who thinks they believe in God. Now, to the average non-scholar / educated God worshiper or whatever you would call it, God is just the unknown. God is what we don't know. God was the wind. God was the oceans. God was the tidal waves. God was the thunder. You know what I mean? And obviously I'm taking it back beyond Christian God. I'm taking it to the Zeus and Osirian, whatever the hell the fuck the names were. All these gods were stuff that they did not understand. And then as they understood it, them gods died. And then died. And then that god's dead. And this god's dead because science became the new faith. You get what I'm saying? You have to have faith in science, because if you want to bring up dark matter, you have to have faith that there's something out there that it's dark matter that we can't see, but we assume it's there. It sounds like God, doesn't it? You get what I'm saying? So the whole God thing is the unknown. As soon as it's known, it's no longer God, because we know how it works. How the hell did we poop? That was God. No, it wasn't. It was our digestive system. You know what I mean? All we had to do was cut a human open and figure that out, which was immoral. You know what I mean? Because of God. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
So the science progression is sacrilegious. Unless you believe in science, then it's not sacrilegious. It is what a true, faithful follower of science would do. You know what I mean? And what holds science back, or what chains science up, is moralities and these common old religions, and what all these religions have in common, which is respecting the human. As soon as we disrespect the human, as soon as we give a shit about a human, and we be like, well, these bitches are aborting children anyways, why don't we just kidnap the aborted fetuses and raise them and use them as guinea pigs? You know what I mean? Is that immoral? That's fucked up. But how is it fucked up? The child was gonna die anyways. Oh no, because God wouldn't want that for his creation. But this creation was gonna die anyways, wasn't it? So we hit a moral standpoint where science can't progress because we don't want it to.
Like let me tell you something. Like I was about to say the same thing, because religion, not like for me, like I'm religious. I feel I'm a child of God. I'm not religious. I believe in God. I believe that I am God. Because if you're religious, you have to live by a certain doctrine.
You live by certain codes. You abide by certain laws.
Right? Yeah, and you can't. And the thing about it is, like, doing that. I think I just found her, but doing that
bullshit.
Yeah, because it looks just like her, like from this distance. But the thing about it is like,
that'd be the worst planet in this game. You know that, right? Dead ass. That'd be the worst planet in this game. 80% water. Half the fucking icons are underwater. You have to dive underwater.
I haven't seen any water in the game yet.
Like what I'm saying is, like, religion holds back science.
Yep.
We are like what I'm saying is, like, science is trying to innovate. We are trying to make things, you know, move. We're trying to make humanity move forward, but like religion is that shackle that holds you back.
Only some fucking space, man. What kind of sell this shit at?
I believe in God wholeheartedly. I love him, you know, because like there's been too many instances in my life where like if I had not like said my name's help like right now, like yesterday, then I wouldn't be here today. You know, like I would like I wouldn't.
No,
be,
I listen. I'm not saying God is not real. Because I have faith. I believe I know what God is and why God is. But that's my own personal faith. You know what I mean? I believe that every religion has one little piece of the puzzle. It's like a big puzzle of hey, get the fuck off my fish, you stupid cat. What the fuck's wrong with you? I believe like it's like I believe that God, like if I had to break it down, God to me is like energy, and if not, he is energy, because they say, for instance, you take a lot of aspects, like let's take Jesus for an example. Jesus can raise the dead. How do you raise the dead? The dead has no life. You would have to put life back into the dead, and life is in at least in a
in essence, it's
in a scientific point of view. In order for something to be alive, it needs to have a pulse, and in order for something to have a pulse, the brain needs to the heart needs to be pumping. In order for the heart to be pumping, the brain needs to be able to send electronic signals to the heart to tell it to pump. So electricity or electrons or energy in itself is the basis to life. And I believe that you got in Catholic faith, you have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And the Father is supposed to be God. You know what I mean? The Son is supposed to be the in-between, the creation. Not the in-between, the end, the creation. And the Holy Spirit is the in-between, the thing that is in between God and the Holy Spirit. Now, I mean God and the humans, or God and the Father and the Son. Now, if we break it down into that triangular fucking Illuminati bullshit, you know what I mean? And we break it down and we say we got potential energy, kinetic energy, and stored energy. You know, not stored energy. Stored energy is potential energy. Consumed energy, potential energy, and kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is the energy in motion. You like theoretically us, but we also consume and we also store. So we have potential energy, we have kinetic energy, and then we consume energy. We do the three. And now potential energy is like the Holy Spirit, and the act of God is kinetic energy. The Holy Spirit was in Jesus, and then he turned the potential energy into kinetic energy and walked on water. He took the potential energy and turned it to kinetic energy and transmitted it into a consumption soul that was dead and raised back the dead. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of where I left off, because I couldn't, there's no way to prove that. So especially like you said, you need billions of dollars in order to fund a scientific research. I wouldn't even if I had $1 billion, I wouldn't even know what direction to prove that God was energy. You know what I mean? Because there's no way, because like it says in the Bible, it says God has many names, but you could call me the beginning and the end. Now, what was here, what had to be here in the beginning, and what has to disappear at the end, and that's energy. Even if the Big Bang is the start of the universe, it started with no energy and created a massive amount of energy. And then in order for the universe to end, all energy needs to dissipate. So what would be here in the beginning to the end? Energy. You know what I mean? The kinetic and potential energy would have to dissipate in order for there to be an end. And the fact that all energy like if you take what's it called, Hinduism and reincarnation, all energy stays on this earth except the little bits that leave the earth, and our astronauts who portably take energy off the earth. But anyways, fuck all that, because that's getting deep on some other shit. But Hinduism believes in reincarnation, which means that your life form, your life force, you know what I mean, gets transcended after death into other forms of life. And a good example of a Hinduistic ideal is the Lion King. You ever see the Lion King, where Simba would be up there with his father, and he asked about the stars. Now, the stars are energy outside the earth, and he referenced that one, when he dies one day, his energy or his soul, you know what I mean, would leave this earth and go to the stars. And then he also talked about that his other energy, you know what I mean, his consumption energy would stay on this earth to become grass to be eaten by the cattle that we feed upon. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I do believe in God, and I believe that God is energy, and I believe we're all sinners because of the fact the way we use our energy. So that's why I think, personally, that's why I think there hasn't been a true prophet for so many fucking years, because we figured out how to use energy for destructive means. You know what I mean?
Right.
Before we used to kill each other with dead objects. You know what I mean? We take a bone and we sharpen it to a knife, or we take iron and we sharpen it into a sword, and we'd kill each other. You get what I'm saying? Then eventually we started using fire to kill each other. Then we started using gunpowder. Gunpowder has been used in war since what? Fucking
we're going back like to the 16th century, I believe.
Oh, earlier than
16th.
that. You're forgetting that the Chinese used to throw
Chinese did it first.
Yeah, the Chinese used to throw. They didn't use propelled weaponry, which is guns. They used gunpowder to blast off needles and nails like cannons, but in the form of a firework. You know what I mean? Right. They've been having fireworks for thousands of years, probably 1,000, 2,000 years. Yeah, I mean, so we've been using energy for destructive means, and then most recently, like fucking 700 years ago, we started burning that shit just to fucking travel the water. So you're sitting on water, and you're burning legit life forms, which are carbonated trees, which is coal. You know what I mean? And you burn that to travel. And then from there we went even further. We started burning that for electricity. and you know what's crazy? Like, if you believe my God is real, right? You would understand the effects that the energy would have on us. Now, we take a simple thing as telephone poles that transmit electricity. Now, understand that they're all copper. So electricity is constantly leaking out of it, hitting the floor or going wherever the fuck the electricity goes. So as we walk the streets, we're being influenced by burnt coal. Because energy can go in and out of our bodies. Like sun ray, the rays of the sun goes in and out of our bodies. Radio waves goes in and out of our bodies. You know what I mean? So if you believe that God is potential energy and all this fucking shit, understand that we are being negatively influenced 24/7 by our surroundings. I don't know if that made any sense.
It does make sense.
Sounds cool.
I'm not gonna lie, you probably lost a few people, but I want to get the Vil. I want to get the Vil on the on this real quick because he hasn't been saying anything. He just been listening. So I want to.
Oh hell no. Moral principles. Yeah.
So everybody changes everything to fit what they want to do.
Yeah.
So if you want to go to war behind something, you'll look at the same words I'm looking at, but you'll interpret them in a way where it would justify you just going to war, something that I wouldn't go to war for. Right. Or you killing gay people, or something that I wouldn't agree to kill gay people for, but you read it the way you wanted to read it. So you decided that, yeah, gays got to go. Get these niggas out of here. So, and then as far as the space travel shit go, every time you bring up, NASA or whatever, you want to say just put money in the air. Somebody from the other side can go, where we get the money from? The Army? Like, for some reason, you can't have two good things.
No, that's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Army and a good NASA. But no, I know. I agree with you. I'm just saying, people will just argue it just in the fact that like, oh, you can't do both. But we know you
could.
Again,
you could do both. No, you could do both, but we'd have to be Sparta. We'd have to legit throw all our kids in the military for their education. That way we fucking just fully fund the military, make a criteria that rocket science has to be there, and then we have a bunch of military kids that all are weaponized and ready for war that know fucking rocket science. But then our freedom and our rights are getting taken away.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It could be done. It's just unethical with a democracy.
I definitely agree it could be, but I'm saying that the argument would be, if somebody came out and said, yeah, we're going to give NASA all this money, somebody else would go, well, they're just trying to kill our army. They want China. They want China to take over.
You give NASA, give NASA $1 billion, you're gonna lose half of that shit through fucking embezzlement.
Exactly. That's another thing. Who can you trust with all this conversation you want to do?
But the thing about it is, but the thing about it is, you don't trust your government. But the thing about it is, it's the same thing with government. It's the same thing with corporations. It's the same thing, or like around the system is just messed up. The thing about it is, science is the only real thing that is advancing us. And if we don't fund science, we lose the country. We lose a nation. We lose humans as a whole. I'm not just talking about the United States here. I'm talking about the around system. I'm talking about the system as a whole. I'm talking about the people.
You're talking about that. You got to get every country on the same page. That ain't gonna happen.
That's why they have programs called the science. That's why they have programs called Scientists Without Borders. And science is like literally what its namesake is. It's like they talk about this thing. The things that we're talking about right now, like they talk about it more in depth. Like it's so much like information. I watched a little thing on C-SPAN with Neil deGrasse Tyson talking to one of like his fellow colleagues, and it was like a panel, and they were talking about light speed. And they said that some said that it couldn't be done. It cannot be done. At least not in our lifetime. It cannot be done.
No. The problem with light speed is that light. Let's put a made up number on the density and the mass of light. Let's call it 1 and 1. That light has the density of 1 and the mass of 1, which is a lie. Just to point. I'm not sitting there saying it does. In order to replicate a density of 1 and 1, how would you do that? And it's improbable to take something, because if you make an object smaller by condensing it, the density remains the same. Even though the area in which it used to take would be less, the density would remain the same. So the mass would end up remaining the same. So no matter how small you make an object, it will remain the same. And theoretically, they believe, mind you, it's a theory, so have faith in it, that if an object gets too small, it can collapse on its own density and create a black hole. So, so if you have faith in that theory, because we don't know if that's real or not, you know what I mean? That's like God. It's an idea that we don't know if it's real or not. If you have faith that black holes are created upon densities collapsing upon itself, how can you truly achieve light speed without accidentally creating a black hole to destroy this world?
And that's why we need to have like testing done. That's why we need to have testing done. In order to have testing done, we need to have funding. You know,
you would approve for people to attempt to create a black hole accidentally.
The thing about it is, like, we're not trying to, like, the thing about it is, like, in science, we could create a black hole, and that's the thing, we could create a black hole. And now the probability of that happening is I don't know the probability, but it's probably low. You know.
See, I think the only way fuck light years and all that shit. Fuck all that shit. This is what I think. I think there's a probability that the further we leave this earth, the more deformed and interesting the human beings would have to be in order to survive a non-earth environment. And I think that the only true way to become interstellar is to just breed people away from planets. Legit, like, the way to do a comet, right? And send fucking a few couples with a small ecosystem to survive off of for 1,000 years, or whatever the case is, in a comet rotation to come back to Earth eventually, you know what I mean? And just send them out and see what kind of breed they come out with in 5-6 generations. You know what I mean? Encourage them to have sex as soon as the period hits and fucking off themselves or whatever the case might be. You know what I mean? And just keep repeating and trying to create a new human species that ages slower because there's less gravitational pull, so the less work the body has to do, less energy the body needs to consume, and they will become a species that legit probably could survive off one bean a day. But then as soon as they get back on Earth, they'll collapse.
Yeah, but I mean, I understand what you're saying and everything, and that sounds like a good idea. But the thing about it is, how you gonna do that? You need funding. You know, you
need more than funding, though. You need morals out the window. You need morals out the window. You're like, hey, by the way, you finally hit 30, and we don't need you around anymore. So can you just like jump off the ship into space so we can all survive? You know what I mean? Like, you would need no morals. You would need no morals in order to actually be able to even if you were able to fund that, the only way to successfully fund it, you don't want fucking 80-year-old or 100-year-old or fucking 500-year-old men coming back to just die as soon as they get back on the earth. Because everybody on that ship, as soon as they touch Earth, they're gonna die. Whatever was created will die instantaneously based off gravitational impact. So the only thing that we get out of that is a scientific proving whether we can evolve or not. And that type of funding would only cost probably like the whole ecosystem is hard because we're still trying to replicate that on Earth. But if we master an enclosed ecosystem, as soon as that's done, whatever it costs to set up the ecosystem, plus the fucking what $500,000 it takes to build the ship, plus whatever funding we have to pay for all these fucking what do they call it? specialists to approve the ships. You know what I mean? So yeah, like you're talking about like probably like $250 million, $250 million just to get that ship up and going. Plus whatever payments you have to make to the people, which is pointless. It's completely fucking pointless. How do you pay someone that doesn't even need money? You're gonna die on that ship. Why the fuck you need money? You know what I mean? Like I don't even understand.
Right.
Like space travel is a whole nother fucking world. Cause like, how do you you get someone on ship to leave Earth, knowing that they will die before they ever come back to Earth. What can you incentivize them to do it for your country? You can't. As soon as he leaves, he becomes rogue.
But that's the thing with like what you said right there. Don't do it for your country. Like that's the thing. Like why would you do it for your country? Like
why would you do it for the Earth? Why would you do it for the Earth?
No, don't do it for Earth either. Don't do it for Earth. But like that's the thing. Like you're thinking. I'm not saying you're thinking small. You're just thinking compact. You know.
I'm thinking socially, like not socially. Basically, the average human being. You know what I mean? Would not do like at least where I'm from. I don't know if the rest of the world might be different. People might like go out their way and do a bunch of shit for no reason, whatever. Like some true believers of the Bible. But majority of the fucking world don't do shit unless there's something involved. No one goes to work for free. No one puts their life on the line for no reason. They have a reason why they do shit. What would be the reason?
Why you need to do it.
What would be the reason to go to space in $1 million fucking shit and leave Earth and die and to explore something, like just to report back? To be like, hey, guess what I found? I found a planet I can't touch down on because if I touch down, I have no way to get back up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but that's the thing.
Go ahead.
But that's the thing about this whole thing is, you know, you don't do it for country. You don't do it for, you don't do it for the state. You don't do it for pockets. You don't do it for Earth at all. You do it for the advancement of human race.
Yeah, but again,
a lot of people.
Do you know as of right now, the further you get away from the planet, the longer it takes for communication to travel based off current communications that we have. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So you're talking about, okay, I'm gonna do it for Earth, yet you're not 100% sure. Like, how do you stay sane being, let's say, 1 light year away from Earth? How do you be sane knowing that you're not gonna hear a response to your text within 1,000 years?
Well, I mean, for me, like, and that's the thing. Like, you would have to have, like, this shit is gonna have to be freaking created because you're gonna have, because like how astronauts do it is they have gyms, they have electronics, they have games,
and they also only have a 5-second delay in communication.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
And yeah.
Have you seen the Canadian guy on YouTube?
I've seen clips.
There's a Canadian guy on YouTube that had a basically the only astronaut blog there ever was. Legit, a guy's in space making vlogs for YouTube. It was fucking awesome. But again, he was able to upload his videos from the fucking spaceship onto the fucking YouTube. You get what I'm saying? So he was still connected. I'm just saying, like, alright, let's take a hypothetical. Let's say we get technology which in itself, like, just the creation of that technology, I have a problem with because of other shit. But let's say we have the technology to go in and out of atmosphere with a reasonable fuel source that for some reason we found is renewable fuel source that allows us to enter and exit atmosphere, like let's say plutonium, right? We could plutonium or whatever the case might be. You know what I mean? We find some type of reasonable resource that we can find a lot of. What is the point? What would be the point of leaving the Earth? You know what I mean? Because even with this game, you think about it, right? We go there, we see life forms, but this is a fucking game. You get what I'm saying? This is a fucking game. This ain't real. So even if this was remotely real, one, the planets would be further away, and those minutes would turn to days. I mean, those seconds would turn to days, and the minutes would turn to years. Let alone the hours. You know what I mean? And being able to travel at the speed of light, if that's even possible. What like there's so many dilemmas that would occur. Like I can think of like a billion scenarios that would fuck up everything on the first try. Because one, in order to test light speed, you would theoretically want to be off the planet Earth, because just in case you create a black hole, you don't want it to be next to planet Earth, do you?
Yeah, no. You don't have to be like a couple light years out.
So you like theoretically we'd have to get to Mars before we can even achieve light speed. You get what I'm saying? We'd have to get to a planet we're okay with destroying in order to achieve light speed. And if we do achieve light speed, the first test of light speed, the guy's gonna be so many, who knows how far away. And what if that light speed only worked for that one jump, because that's all the energy we had? We will not know for thousands and thousands of years if that light speed worked. So we would have to like just think about the testing, the scientific testing, beyond the money, beyond everything, beyond the money. Let's say it's completely free. Think about the scientific testing that would have to be involved in order to achieve light speed. You would have to have enough fuel or whatever resources to achieve light speed 2 times. To assume that you knew how to achieve light speed. Because most likely the first time you achieve light speed is going to seem like teleportation. You know what I mean? It's going to seem like you teleported an object. Because it's 1 minute it's there, as soon as you press go, it's gone. What happened to the object, no one knows. And then how do you command that object to come back? Because it's going to take you a light year to transmit that data to tell that object to come back. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So like the idea of achieving something like that, you like think about it. You be funding NASA $1 billion a year to wait for their signal to come back. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's just like it sounds cool.
I mean,
and all
it's
that.
pretty.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Like I mean, the thing about it is when you have like all this takes is the will of the people. Like the will of the people is what matters.
Oh yeah.
The will of the people.
Oh,
like right now they have a clinical trial for a new I just saw it today during work, a new trial for gene splicing. Having the perfect baby, where there's no cancer, no nothing, and everything else, and it's genetic. It's like how do you say it? Designer babies.
Yeah, you've seen that video. What's his name?
And
the Nutshell guy.
Nutshell, right?
Is it Nutshell?
Nah, I'm checking it right now. But anyway, he said that designer babies, like it will be a new process. It will be a new way of thinking.
You gotta watch that video one more time, because he explicitly says that we're not even close to being there. Just watch the last 30 seconds.
Not they're not close to being there. He said we have. It's not like that one movie where we have the technology, we can build it. No, it's like we have the idea. we have the idea. It's just putting the idea in our heads to a sustainable form to where we can do that.
Dude, I just found copper.
You found copper? Yeah. But
I just got that hyperdrive this morning.
Oh, I haven't been trying to get the hyperdrive.
I just got that shit this morning, man. That shit opened up the whole map. Like, you could just put the plane and shit.
Yep.
I'm still exploring my first fucking shit, dog. I had like 5 planets. How many planets did you have?
I did 2.
Oh, dude. I started off with 5 planets, and like 3 of them have water on it.
Yeah, I didn't see no more yet.
I'm gonna be stuck in my corner of the universe. I ain't leaving Earth.
I gotta work this morning. Got me off the hook right now. I'm about to get off that.
Hey, all right. Hey, yo, I got a question.
Next time more, man.
Wait, yeah, I got a question. I got a question real quick. You guys want to keep doing this type of talk? You know what I'm saying?
I'm down. I could talk for hours. He doesn't talk. He's listening.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure this out.
Got a lot to think about, don't you?
Oh, nah, I'm trying to, figure this shit out, man.
Yeah, I get you, man. I get you. So I mean, like we could have like these daily talks, you know what I'm saying? We could talk about No Man's Sky. We could talk about, the science that goes into it.
Dog, we should do a fucking, like, I've been playing around with Facebook Live. I don't know if you guys got Facebook.
Yeah.
I've been playing around with Facebook Live. I don't have fucking I don't have no followers and shit, but whatever. I just do it for fun. And I be talking about shit like why do people hate Trump? Yeah, I mean, do you like Trump?
Well, that's not gonna keep your followers up. So
no.
You'll get followers, but it's not gonna be the ones you want.
The only reason why people don't like Trump is because of the meme. Like, Trump hasn't, like, I watched an interview with him, and yeah, I don't agree with him, but all the shit that everyone's hating on him for is not a good reason to hate on him for. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, the racism too.
Racism. What has he said that was racist?
You want to get every Muslim out of the country.
But that's. So okay, that is, yes, it's racism, but that's understandable because I have my nephew who's in the army right now, and he legit. You try to tell him no, make peace with Muslims, he'd fucking smack you. Like, because of the fact that you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you know them guys that you just like risk your life to protect us from? Yeah, we want to be friends with them. It's like, no, get the fuck out of here. That's like after the Vietnam War, freaking saying, hey, Vietnamese people are cool.
We did that though.
It took time. It wasn't right away.
I know people that was in Vietnam and said when they got decommissioned, they was in a building across the street where they had the American Vietnamese that they bought over. And this guy, this older guy, he said he woke up in the night and almost killed 3 people. Just